people, and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to talk about mystery and how you can cloak yourself in it and what effect it has on you and people around you and the kind of power that you can gain with this. If you don't know me, I'm Christian. I've built my own company with my business partner Mikkel, where we help coaches, consultants completely automate their client acquisition. We have this goal that if you're helping people, you should not having the issue of actually finding people to help, right? That's what we do. So yeah, enough about that. Let's dig into this topic. And what I want to talk about today is mystery. And what do I actually mean by mystery? Is it like a mystery box, a mystery treasure, a mystery food of the day, or a mystery plane? Who knows? No. The thing that I'm talking about is being mystery as a person, being mystical as a person, being a mystery, and what this does for you as a human when interacting and when you're with other people. Because what you tend to find is that people are attracted to something that's mysterious. And if we go behind the psychology of this a bit, we as people have this phenomenon, there's this psychological thing in us that's called the grass is always greener, right? So we have this, because humans are run by desire, and usually when we get the things that we desire, we're usually let down, and we don't really get the excitement that we have built it up to be because of the desire, and that leads us to desire a whole new thing. And you see this all the time. You see this with relationships, you see this with computers, you see this with cars, you see this with athletic records, you see this with bodybuilding, you see it everywhere, right? Let's have a story here of myself. When I started my fitness journey, it's like 5 or 6 years ago, not even, like 5 years ago, as I said. I've been training for a long time. And the first 2 years, it was 2 times a week, like doing some pretty good shape. My first goal was to be able to run 10 minutes without getting aches in my stomach. It's called sidestik on Danish. I don't know what it's called on English, but it is just you run and one side of your abdominal area begins to hurt and you have to sit down and scrunch. Plus I have a condition with my heart, and having good condition or having a good condi, having good fitness helps me reduce my seizures, you can call it like that, right? Now, what this means is my first goal was to get there, and when I got there I was so decided to be. The next goal was to hit 85 kilos. I hit that goal. The next goal was to lose some belly fat and have a six-pack. I hit that goal, and right now, I hit that goal. I want more. Right now, my goal is to, I think it's 7% body fat. That's like my ultimate goal right now. It's a pretty high-end goal, and I really want to get there, but I'm sure when I get there, I was like, oh no, my lats could use some size. My back lateral could also use some size. My shoulders not round enough, my biceps not defined, my triceps are not equal. It doesn't look like a horseshoe, right? Or my forearms are not as tense as possible as they can be. And this is really what tends to happen when you get into these marginals, right? And you continuously go for a goal, you reach the goal, and it actually ends up being disappointed. And that's because of human nature always desiring more. We're desiring what we don't have and what we don't know yet. Now, let's bring this back to why mystery comes in as a really important factor in humanity. And the whole wanting more also applies to people. This means that we as people tend to want something that is curious, right? That piques our desire. This is something we don't know what is. This is something where we can learn something new. Maybe there's something good about it, or it's an object that's mysterious. It's something that's attractive, right? Being mysterious gives you attractiveness in eyes of others, because you can be anything, right? It can be any kind of experience. Whereas someone who is very predictable, they are not really going to get anything because they already see everything that's coming. And if they were to chase a relationship with that person, they've already made up in their mind what that's supposed to be. And if they know the character completely, it's going to be probably a boring fantasy. Whereas if it's a person wrapped in mystery, people tend to look at this character as someone who, oh, this guy or this woman, like crazy fantasies start to rattle up. You see this a lot with boys, right? They look at a woman actually older than them, young boys and boys in general, they look at actresses, right? Because they don't really know anything about them, don't know anything about them personally, and they start to fantasize and start to get attracted to it, even though there's perfectly fine adequate women on this, like, at home, right? But it's really having something, an object that you don't really know what is. That it could be great, it could be bad. It's just something that you cannot predict. This gives the human brain excitement, and this, like, all sorts of chemicals in the brain slide up, and it wants us to chase that thing. Now, if you can use this thing as a human and control your mysteriousness, and if you can put it in the right way to make people see you as a mysterious character, this will attract people towards you. And there's a couple of things that makes you mysterious, and a lot of the times we see people go wrong is that they tend to become overly arrogant or annoying, and they tend to put up stories that are bullshit, right? So when you're trying to build this mysterious aura around yourself, your end goal is to have people trying to figure out your story, right? You want to give them hints here and there. You want to give them like small side pieces here and there, but you cannot give them the full picture. So they have to speculate, oh, who is this guy? Well, how did he get there? I mean, how did he do that? Like, really, and people have this crazy tendency to imagine all sorts of crazy stuff, especially if they do not know it. And you've done very well to build up a strong aura on you, a strong personality, a strong character around you that shows signs of strength, signs of attractiveness, signs of an alpha and a leader. People will automatically think that your stories are crazy, they're heroic, they're fantastic, right? And this is what drives people towards you. This is what makes people want to know more. They always come when you're there. And once you start to affect this, and once you can actually almost control the mysteriousness of your character as you are, people will start to see more interest in you because you're unexplainable and you're not obtainable, right? It's something for them that they can't really obtain. People have this stupid tendency to also think if it's something that other people have, they tend to want it themselves, or something is already taken, they want it themselves. If you go back to childhood with siblings, they're always fighting for attention from their parents. And sometimes the parent gives something to one child, then the other child instantly is just, oh, why did he get that? Why didn't you get that? I know, especially when I was younger, I have a little sister, who's a couple of years younger than me. I got things, right, that my sister didn't get because I was older, and she would just completely spin off because I got things she didn't, but I was older and a little bit more mature, so I needed them. And my parents, being so lovely as they are, they gave her those things, which gave me some jealousy because I thought, because I've always been told, oh, when you hit this age, you can get your first phone. When you hit this age, you can get your bike. When you get to this grade, you can blah, blah, blah. And I got there. I say, oh, I finally made it. And then my sister gets it like that. It was sometimes that I remember it being frustrating and annoying. And that's one of the times where I got a little bit annoyed because I wanted that thing and I've worked so hard for it, and just seeing given away also makes it hard, right? So we're always fighting for attention. And the moral of the story here is that my sister, she saw me getting attention that she weren't getting, leading into her wanting it too, and started begging, pleasing, or whatever young people do, right? Young children do. And I become jealous of it. This turned a bit more to my perspective, funnily enough. So as you start to develop this mysterious aura, you really want to consider the type of personality that you want to be, right? Because you're really building it. And once you start, it's something that you've got to be consistent with. Because a lot of the time, as soon as you break the aura, as soon as you break the character, break out of the role of being that mysterious aura, it will be over like this. As soon as you start to reveal your weaknesses, as soon you start to reveal who you really are and people start to see it, they will lose interest like this, right? And not all people, of course. If you go into a more intimate relationship, it's just, but still, if you're in an intimate relationship with someone, still try to keep up this mysterious, because it will give a lot of lust and give a lot of attractiveness to your partner, and of course over time it will fold out, but you can actually really keep this mysterious aura up still in a good and more grown up way, if that makes sense. Without seeming like you're hiding things from them, but still being that character. So it is something that you build on, right? Building on a character to build up this aura around you of mysteriousness. Okay? Now, really, you gotta understand as you do this, is that sometimes you always gotta look at other people, why they try to do it. And a lot of people, when they try to build something up, that they tend to lie a bit. And sometimes it is actually okay to give a little white lie here, there, or put some candy on top of the, what's it called, like put some sprinkles on top of the story, maybe make it a little bit extraordinary than it actually is. And I mean, it's completely human to do that, so don't really worry about doing it. Because this also creates mysteriousness, right? And once you start building this, you obtain a lot more power than if you were not doing it. And obtaining this power will give you advantage over other people, especially if you're in a friend group, if you're in a work setting, or if you're working against other candidates as a leader. People will tend to sway your way because, like, deep psychological, even though they're not really looking at the factual data, they will still, without a doubt, find you more attractive because of that mysterious aura. And they think that, oh, this guy he's hiding something, he got this trick up his sleeve, right? Of course, this can also be taken to another extreme, which is being too mysterious and being unreliable in a way. And this sometimes is not good for certain positions. So really being, like, building this character in certain situations is really good. And if you've seen some of my other videos that I upload, with also building into the character and the masks that we wear. So you gotta build up this persona of you that is this mysterious version of you that hides the real you. Not that you should go out and hide the real you. Depends on what you want. You can go out and be yourself. But if you really want control in the social setting and really control over what's happening in a social ground, you have to be the one taking initiative to change yourself first, right? To gain this power that you're seeking. And this is something that you can do through this. Okay? Now, if we rewind back a bit here, now a lot of the things that I talk about in these videos is deep psychological things, and a lot of the reasons why this works is because it's very deeply rooted in our psychology and our daily ritual habits, which actually controls a lot of our behavior, even if we don't really consciously want it to. And these factors, as a mysterious aura working in your favor, will actually also affect you. Will also affect the people around you, and will affect you, even though it's stupid, to be frank. But you gotta remember that these deep psychological traits that are within us is a part of who we are, and it is a part of humanity, right? And you have to play by these rules, and not a lot you can do about it, because you can. It's hard to change them for yourself, and trying to change them for other people is practically impossible. And you shouldn't, but you can take advantage of them and use them to the better good and to your advantage. And also start to learn when people are fooling you and trying to fool you. Also a very good way to learn it. So yeah. Let me just think for a second if there's something I've forgotten. There probably is. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like or subscribe if you want to hear more of this content. Well, other than that, see you later.